What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. In today's video we are going to be talking about this absolutely beautiful philodendron called as the Philodendron Thai Sunrise. Now before getting this plant, I always assumed that this plant is a self-header, but only after getting it I realized it is a climber. As you can see, this is the stem area, the aerial roots, and this is where the new nodes are starting to form. So it needs a pole, which of course I will put her up on the pole very soon. Right now I'll just let her rest in this. She's putting out a new leaf. This is a new leaf inside the caterpillar. Looks absolutely stunning. Now these they tend to have this very lemon green color, very light leaves, and then they have this dark green variegation. Now of course this plant is very young, so the leaves are also very narrow and small, but as and when the plant starts to grow, the leaves also tend to increase in size. I'll probably put up an image on the screen so you can get an idea of how the leaves tend to look like once it's mature. So that's the image. So I'm very excited. I really love this particular variety of philodendron because it's very different. Usually we have variegation that is more white and yellow, but this one is a little bit different. It has more of these patches of green against that lemon yellow or lemon green color, and it looks absolutely stunning. Now the care tips, again it remains the same as we talk about all of our philodendrons, but I'll just give it to you. The soil has to be loose, porous, well draining, yet it retains a slight amount of moisture. Philodendrons do not like to be sitting in dry soil for a very long time, so ensure you're using a mix that contains an agent that tends to retain moisture. Like in my case, I'm using a mix of coco peat, garden soil, sand. Coco peat is the material that is going to retain the moisture. Garden soil is going to give the basic nutrients, and sand is going to make the soil mix well draining. Well draining is the key for every philodendron. You cannot have a soil that turns compact or that tends to pool water in the pot, otherwise the plant will have a root rot. Watering, whenever you see around 1 to 2 inches of the upper layer of soil is dry, go ahead and do a complete watering until the water starts passing through the drain hole. Talking about fertilizers, you can add fertilizers during the summer season, which is their active growing period. During winters, do not use any fertilizers. Now talking about light, these plants prefer a lot of indirect bright light, filtered light, dappled sunlight, but not direct sunlight. Probably if you are having a east facing window wherein you receive early morning mild direct sunlight before 9 a.m, that is absolutely okay, but after that avoid putting it out in direct sunlight, but offer a lot of indirect bright light. Do not keep this plant in afternoon direct sunlight. The leaves will get bleached and they will get burnt, so ensure you're keeping it in a place. If you're keeping it indoor, ensure you're keeping it closer to the windowsill where it receives an ample amount of light, or if you're growing it outdoor, ensure you're keeping it in a space where the direct sunlight does not fall onto it. Even when you're keeping it near the window, there has to be, like, you can keep it a few centimeters or inches away from the window so that direct sunlight does not fall onto it, but there is ample amount of light. The main reason we want to give a good amount of light is to not let the plant turn leggy, because I think over here probably the plant was not getting a lot of light when I got it, so that's why you can see it has turned a little leggy. There is a little space in between the leaves. So but now that it's in my place, I'm going to offer it a good amount of light, so it will start doing quite well. I will also show you a project that I'm working on recently, and I'll also show you some of the plants there, and you'll be able to see even the plants that tend to climb can also become very compact, and I'm going to show it to you in a while. Now talking about pest issues, ideally philodendrons do not get affected a lot with mealybugs. Spider mites maybe here and there, that is in case if your other plants are infested, then those pests can transfer onto the plant. So always do a visual check once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks. If you happen to notice even one small little bug, immediately clean it up. Do not wait for the last minute. If you have a heavy infestation, the best thing is to go with a neem oil spray that will take care of it. Talking about propagation, it is very simple. As I said, it is a climber. as and when it will start to climb, it is going to get these nodes. Here it is, but it's quite small, as you can see. So if you want to do a cutting, you'll have to cut it a couple of centimeters below. I'll put up an image on the screen so you can get a fair idea of where exactly to cut, because in this plant it is going to be a little difficult to see. So this image is self-explanatory, so it will give you an idea where exactly to do the node cutting. So overall, it's a very easy growing plant. Few years back, this was very uncommon. I wouldn't say it was rare, but it was very uncommon to be found online or in stores. But now, because of the tissue culture and all that stuff, the plants are coming up in the market. The supply is increasing. Also the demand, what I see, is also decreasing, but now there is a lot of supply of plants, and the demand has decreased compared to what it was in 2020 or 2021. Today the demand is less, but there is ample amount of plants, which is good for a lot of us because the plant prices have started to drop. So overall, it's quite an easy plant. If you're looking out for a unique looking plant with a very different variegation, and you're looking out for a climber, then this is one of the plant you can add in your collection. You can go for a coir rope pole or a sphagnum moss pole. Anything is going to work out really well. Temperatures anywhere between 18 to 35-36 degrees Celsius works out really well for them. They are not frost hardy. If you are from a place wherein you experience snowfall or frost, of course you'll have to get your plants indoor and keep them under a grow light if you don't receive a lot of light in the room. Talking about humidity, they are not very fussy about humidity. They can do well in average humidity. You do not need to buy a humidifier especially for this plant. They will do quite well in average household humidity as well. Fertilizers, as I said, you'll have to do it during the summers. You can go with any organic based fertilizer, whether it's vermicompost, compost, seaweed liquid fertilizer. Any one can be used. Once a month is more than enough. They are not very heavy feeding plants, so that is going to work out really well. So guys, that's about it. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.